Chapter 8 Going Global. Global throughout the world refers to expanding one market beyond the immediate area of production. On Saturday morning, Jessie slept in, and even when she opened her eyes at 9:05, she still felt tired. How can I wake up tired? She wondered as she buried her face in the pillow and dozed off. 5 minutes later, she was awake for real, remembering why she was so tired. Yesterday's lemonade stand had been the hardest work of her life. Face painting, hair braiding, nail polishing. It has sounded like such a good idea. Jessie had been sure that every kid in the neighborhood would line up to buy a cup of lemonade. But that was the problem. Every kid had lined up for lemonade, and then wanted face painting, and hair braiding, and fingernail polishing, and toenail polishing. One boy had asked for face painting on both cheeks, both arms, and his stomach. One girl begged for lots of braids, and with ribbons woven in, and the nail polishing. They all wanted different colors and decals, and it was impossible to get them to sit still long enough for the polish to dry. We're going to run out of lemonade, Megan had said to Jessie at noon, as the line stretched all the way to the street. 4 half cups instead of full ones, whispered Jessie. It has to last. Jessie and Megan had each made $24 on lemonade, but they worked 8 hours to do it. At the end of the day, they agreed. A good idea, but not worth it. After breakfast, Jessie pulled out her lockbox and sat on her bed. She kept the box hidden in her closet on a shelf under some sweaters. She kept the key in a plastic box in her desk drawer. The plastic box was a disguise to look exactly like a pack of gum. You would never know it was hollowed with a secret sliding panel on the side. Jessie unlocked the box and opened the lid. First, she took out the 3 torn slips of paper. There was one for value added and one for goodwill. There was also a new one that Jessie had added last night. Profit margin. Jessie lined up all 3 scraps of paper on the bed beside her. She wasn't sure why she was saving these words, but she felt like they belonged in her lockbox. Next, she took out her lemonade earrings every day. Megan had squealed over how much money they made. But every day, Jessie had known, it's not enough. It's not going to be enough to win. Jessie counted the money. So far, she had earned $40. It was a lot of money, but it wasn't nearly enough. She still needed to earn $60 more. And today was Saturday, only 2 more selling days before she and Evan counted their earnings on Sunday night. How was she going to sell enough lemonade to earn $60 in 2 days? She couldn't. That was the problem. No kid could earn $100 in just 5 days of selling lemonade. The profit margin was too small. She knew because she used her calculator to figure it out last night. The numbers said it all. There was no way 2 girls in one neighborhood could sell 375 cups of lemonade. Nobody wanted that much lemonade, no matter how hot the day was. Jessie looked at the money in her lockbox and the page of calculations on her desk. So here is her little calculation. Any other kid would have quit, but Jessie wasn't a quitter. On good days, Jessie's mom called her persistent. On bad days, she told her she just didn't know enough when enough was enough. Jessie reached for 10 bright ideas to lighten up her sales. It was on her bedside table right next to Charlotte's Web. Jessie's hand hovered. She looked longingly at Wilbur and Fern, watching Charlotte hanging by a thread. But this was war, and she couldn't stop to read for fun. She grabbed the booklet and opened it to bright idea number 6. An hour later, she had a new scrap of paper stashed in her lockbox and a whole new page of calculations on her desk. It might work. It could work, but she and Megan would have to risk everything they earned over the past 3 days, and Jessie would have to be braver than she had ever been in her whole life. Jessie carried her lockbox and calculations downstairs. She went to the kitchen and pulled down the school directory, scanning the names of all the 3rd graders, girls from last year. She knew them all, from Evan, from recess, from their lunchroom. Knew who they were, knew their faces, which ones were nice, which ones were not so nice. But she didn't really know any of them. Not enough to call them out. Not enough to say, want to do something today? Not enough to ask, would you like to have a lemonade stand with me? These girls were going to be her classmates. Jessie felt her face grow hot and her upper lip start to sweat. What was it going to feel like to walk into that classroom on the first day of school with all those eyes looking at her? Would they stare? Would they tease?